Board of Trustees of Crystal City Independent School District will meet in special session at 6 p.m. Monday, October 25th, 2021 in the Administrative Building Boardroom, 613 West Zavala Street in Crystal City, Texas. Want to call meeting to order? Time is?
6 o'clock.
All right, number 2, roll call, Ms. Carlos.
Mr. Eric Garcia.
Here.
Mr. Reyes Espinosa.
Here.
Mr. Cruz Mata.
Here.
Mr. Victor Bonilla III.
Present.
Mrs. Nora Flores Guerrero.
Present.
Mrs. Melissa Marquez Guerrero. She is absent. And Mrs. Peggy Young.
Here.
For the record, we do have a quorum. All right, number 3, moment of reflection. All right, number 4, audience to patrons for agenda items. One person.
Ms. Serna.
All right, Ms. Serna, thank you for coming. Before you begin, I got to read you some stuff, please, so please bear with me. All right, each public comment speaker will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes to address the board. Any public testimony speaker who is speaking through a translator will receive 10, but you're not. Please keep your comments or criticisms civil and courteous. Please also avoid using profanity and refrain from making personal attacks on others during your opportunity to speak. Last, we ask that you not discuss students who are not your own child. Yelling, inappropriate, uncivil, or discriminatory comments will not be permitted. In the event your comment, in the judgment of the presiding officer, which is myself, constitutes a complaint or charge against an employee or officer, it may be necessary for me to interrupt and ask you to stop and direct you to proceed with the school district's formal grievance procedures or to have the item heard in executive session, depending on the nature of the complaint. Board Secretary, Mr. Cruz Mata, will give you the 5-minute countdown.
Can you give me a 2-minute warning?
Yes, we'll give you the one.
I'll give you the 1 minute.
Okay.
Ready?
I come to you first as a teacher. Some of you might see Mr. Sedna as forgiving or lenient. However, do you own your own business? Do you manage a team, or have you taken principal classes? Yeah, I can answer for some of you. Yes, you have. The #1 rule of a leader is valuing your employees, taking care of them, knowing who they are, not just their names, knowing their circumstances. That is what Mr. Sedna is. He got to know every employee and what they were going through. You cannot sit here and tell me that no other principal in this district has ever afforded a staff member to be late to school, to go watch their child, to go eat at a special occasion. Why do all great principals do this? Because they care. Because we all know sitting here that there are not many teachers knocking at our district's door to work here. These principals, they take care of what they have. They build and mold their staff into a family. If and when any staff member would put student safety second, he would address, document, and correct the problem. Mr. Sedna didn't sit behind a desk. He was outside in the hallways, doing restroom checks, making sure students were taken care of, because being a great principal means just that. Students first. It's not a I got you teachers. It's about building and supporting teachers, because they are all diverse. All teachers and students, all teachers are adults. We know policy. We don't have to be reminded in emails every day. If Mr. Sedna needed to address, he would bring them in, conference, strategize, make solutions, and follow up. It would bother me as a teacher when I would hear that school board members, a parent would come to the school board and say, I need this, and poof, it would get done. Are you lenient? Are you pushovers? No, you're not. You're looking out for the community that you represent. Mr. Sedna looks out for the teachers and students he represents. Now I'm here as a wife. My husband has poured his heart out for this district. He worked with his colleagues to only improve the school, and student interest was his #1 priority. We, my husband, myself, and my daughter, encouraged and supported students at every chance we had. There we were at midnight, making posters for the band because we were gonna go to Corpus the next morning to watch them, and we're not gonna go empty-handed. We sat in many hospitals waiting for news of injured players or sick staff members just to drive back to Batesville at 2 or 3 a.m. We would attend Saturday events after long Fridays and assist in anything we had. My husband never enjoyed a football game. He was up and down. He was checking on securities, concessions, riding with the security to the night deposit, checking on his staff workers at the gate, front gate, side gate, referees. If anything, he would stand at the far end of the field and watch the last 6 or 7 minutes of the 4th quarter. We were always the last ones to leave the field. Why? Because he would ensure student safety, that no one would vandalize our facility, and that every spectator made it off to our premises. He wouldn't change that for the world. When faced with a tough decision, he would always do the right thing. He would always put students first. He knew that his staff would support him. One thing I've noticed, that when someone in the district begins to climb the ladder, making strides, some, not all, administration says, nope, you're too far. Let me cut that ladder. Let me bring you down. My husband never asked any of his staff for empathy because he was swamped with work. He never made a decision that would hurt a student. He doesn't hold grudges. He tells the truth, he's fair, and he's consistent. I want to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak to you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, number 5, closed session. The Board of Trustees will adjourn into closed session pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act and the Texas Government Code sections 551.071 and 551.074